Hello friends, how are you doing today? Okay, so today I would like to continue with the Famousity mobile version done in Godot Engine, and the last stream was on Friday, and we were able to deal cards from the backend and show them to our application or our game. Let me just a little bit. Okay. So yeah, we can have a look how it looks like from the last stream. Yeah, so as you can see, we have cards dealt with our persons and with all the symbols on the cards and as well the actions. And today we might do a proper layout in in the environment. We still don't have like a background and stuff like that, but we will worry about that later when we have something solid. But for now we are just basically putting all these cards on the same spot. Either it's me player or the bot player, so these are mixed together. And today I would like to do just to separate them into the own areas on the screen, and maybe start with a bit of layout of how the game should look like on the mobile, and maybe experiment with that, how it should look like. So yeah, that's the plan for today. I will see how much will get done today. Hopefully it shouldn't take long actually, because I have an idea how to do it, and basically yeah, but I don't really have a foundation for the CAN manager and stuff like that, so maybe that's gonna take us a while to do a proper setup. We will see. Okay, so let's start here. Let's start actually here. So for now we are putting all of our cards in the test card container, and this is basically a good foundation for our player. This will be either local player or remote player. In our case, for now it's a bot. So we will create a new node, player. Just check one thing here. Okay. Yeah, I will need to be more careful about the stream, because the last time, as you might know, I forgot to turn on my mic after the crash of OBS, so I might take some precautions. Okay, so let's get back to work. So we have a player here, and we will actually make a node from the player. So I already forgot how to do it. Match from celebration scene. Yeah, this one. Okay, scenes, and we will call it as a player. Great. And we will open the player in separate card. So we might not want to show it here for now, or maybe we will. For now, okay. In Famousity game, the player has like few containers which we will need. First one is his hand, so what's on his hand. The second one is what's on his table, so it's like cards he has already won. So, and these cards are then used to create a combination and receive some points. So let me create a child node. We will have a spatial node here because it will be positioned. So create a spatial node, and we will call this one a hand. So this will be player hand, and then the second one should be a table. But I'm thinking if the table or the other cards should be done in under this node, because. But I think I think it's already done in the Unity this way, so yeah, we can do it. Basically, we will have players positioned in the environment, and the cards in front of them should be the cards in the hand, and cards on the table, like-ish, so should be on the table. So it's always gonna be on the same position. We're just going to move the players in the environment, so that should be okay. So let's create a spatial and call it a table. And then we will need something like player name. We won't need it for a local player, but we will need it for our remote players. So we see their names, but maybe not on the mobile version. Yeah, I'm just trying to mimic the Unity version, but it will be a little bit different on the mobile, so I need to think about that. So for now it's okay, and for now the cards dealt we have just done in the deal card function should go to the player's hand. All of them. Okay. Okay, so save this node, and what else? So now we will need a hello there, Alec Jonat. Am I saying it right? How are you doing? So we are going to need a player scene here. Vaccine player. Yeah. We will need a player as well as script for the player, and that's abstract player actually. Abstract player and player scene, and we will initialize this player scene on the. What am I missing here? Right. Already forgot how to do it. Yeah, it doesn't have parameters actually, so we need to cast it when we instantiate it. So player scene, a resource loader, load scene, and then we will have a scene, scenes, player DSCN. Nope. That should be correct. I don't know why it's. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, so we have a player scene which will instantiate for each player. And what else do we need? Yeah, and the one more thing we need is to basically initialize these players. So that should be done in a initialize game action, which comes from the backend. And that comes to the game manager, initialize game. We are basically not doing anything here for now, and we will do that in the. We'll just pass it for now to run manager. We will do some more stuff here, like dealing with sounds and stuff like that. But for now, we will need a run manager here. So private round manager. We won't need network manager here. Maybe we will later, so I will keep it just for now commented. And run manager will have will be the get node run manager root run manager root manager. Okay, so we have it here as an instance and we can use it. So run manager, and we will create another game, another function called initialize. Or maybe let's do a start game. Is it start game? I'm thinking if there is another action for just starting the game, but that's starting a round, so it should be okay. So this should start the game. And local player ID, we will need that, and we will need players. And for now we will need the practice mode, probably. Yeah, let's just not worry about it right now. So we can create a function there, local player players. And now what we'll need to do is to create our local player hand, or the node in the scene. And we need to take care of the list of the players, because so you will get of players and they are ordered in the order how the turn will start for each player. So what we'll need to do here is basically all I want to do is in a scene my local player should be in front of me, so it should be on the, let's call it in the index 1, so somewhere here, like somewhere here, and another player should be so if we have 4 players, so there is a 1 player another one is here, here, and here. And if you have 2 players, then one is here and the second one is here. So that's our case for now. We can worry about the 4 players later, or maybe more players. But what I wanted to say is that players received from backend are here in the list in order of which turn of the turn of the player. So if you are second, if you are on the second, Jesus, I cannot talk. So if you as a local player are second in this list, you should be placed still here, not here. So we need to rotate this list. We can say it like that. So I will create a new method here, which will basically do that. So rotate players. And we will take this parameter, and this should actually return a new rotated players list. So we will have to rotate it. So what we want to achieve is actually to always have our local player as first in this list, and then we can proceed with the positioning. We could do it the other way, check what's the index of the player. I think this is the way how I've done it in Unity, but I think this approach might be a little bit better. So there is not, it's more readable. I can show you it actually. So if you have a look here, so yeah, I was actually trying to find out what's the local player position from the list, and then based on the position I was trying to find out what the index is based on some calculation. So this is not really readable here. So if we do it like the other way, that we will basically rotate the players list and then iterate over this, and we know that the local players always is on index 1, it should be okay. So how do we want to do that? Actually, we want to create a new list of players. Can we put collection here? Yeah. So let's do players. So we will create a copy of the list. Take it. And I'm thinking about doing this way. So while player. I'm sorry, my stream crashed. My OBS is crashing for some reason, so I need to keep an eye on it. So yeah, as I was saying, I'm trying to rotate this list to have a list where our local player is as a first player in this list. So that's local player ID. So while we don't have our local player as a first one, we will do something like this. Remove. So we want to actually remove the first one and add it to as the last one. So rotate it out, players first one, and then rotate it, remove at 0. So this should do the trick. So we will get the rotated players here, and we will basically use this to initialize our environment. Okay. So we will rotate our players, and then we will iterate over the players. For each players, okay. And convert to for each, yeah, because I will need an index. That's a player, and switch the index. Actually, I wouldn't need to do this if I just checked for the player ID, but yeah, that doesn't really matter. I'm still not sure how will I do the positioning, because as I'm checking the code in the Unity, I don't really have like all the cases. I have the opponent indices, and I'm not sure how I basically positioning. Okay. The indices. So that's broken. Yeah. So that's indices for the players. Yeah, that's. Yeah, okay, I know now. Yeah, so basically what I have in a game, in the main scene, I already have like all the players positioned. So maybe that's a better one, because for okay, so the way I wanted to do is through the code. So I would need to create a high nines, 99. I will, yeah, so what do a network packets look like? I'm using protobuf for communication between backend and frontend, and I'm using basic TCP communication, so I can show you. So basically the game connection, the main loop for the network communication is started in the separate thread, and then we are creating TCP client, connecting to service host and service port, and getting the stream and proceeding with the stream. And basically I'm using the protobuf to write to the stream, write actions to the stream, the object, and when I receive some game data, when I know there is something, I will parse from the object I'm expecting to be there. So for this case, it's the game, and then we have some round actions and stuff like that. So I hope this answers the question. So Google protobuf once again, and I have like protos defined, and then code generated. You're welcome. Thanks for the question. Okay, so let me go back to here. Yeah, so yeah, as I was saying, so I wanted to create everything through the code, but I think that's not the best approach here, and I will actually do it as I have in Unity. So in the game scene, like in the main scene of the environment for the game, I will create all the players, and then I will basically fill only which are relevant. So let me just do dummy players here, and let me just think how I do it. I'm gonna actually get inspired from the Unity code here. Okay, so yeah, I'm filling these opponents. So this should be actually a note in the Unity. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, so Unity does have something like you can fill. Where am I setting this field? Public. Yeah, I'm setting it in a Unity directly. Okay. Yeah, so in Unity we can do something like I think we can do it this here as well. Of course you can. Yeah, so we can do that. So yeah, but that's more tricky because I don't really have Run Manager as a node here. I have it only SA. as a auto-loaded instance, so maybe that's not the best approach for this use case. Okay, so there are options like I can put round manager here and then set it up, or I can just place all my players here and then load it up on the start of the game node, or round manager or whatever. So I think I will do that. I'm just trying to think if there could be some problem with that. Okay, let's try that actually. Okay, so first of all I will need let's create basically a group node for our players, so we have some structure in the scene, and then we will have players here, and we will need to call them somehow so we can differentiate. Basically this one can be local player, and then we will have up to 3 opponents, and so local player will be here, one player will be here, there and there, and we will need to, so I will, you know what, I'm just going to do a silly trick here and use something like index here. So we know that if we have players ordered from our local player to all other players, we can get nodes based on the player and index of the player. So let me just put more players here. Yeah. So we will need 4 players. And this will be okay. And now we will need to also position them. So first player should be somewhere here. Yeah, we will need to adjust it later, but for now just so we have some separation here. The second player will be on the, so if we are looking at the screen like this, and local player is here, then we are going clockwise, so the second player should be here, somewhere here. He will be a little bit rotated, but we can worry about it later. Third player will actually not be here, he will be here somewhere, and fourth player will be somewhere here. Yeah, actually we will adjust the values later, because this is not the precise thing I'm doing here. I just want to fill these players, and I'm thinking that for now I'm just loading 2 players, and probably I will load all 4 players just for digital test. So let me go back to the code and go back to the network manager, where we are having the main function in our start, ready basically, and connect. Let's rename it to the convention. Okay, so we will have total player count 4 and load count 3, and this is our local player for now. Excuse me. Cool. And now we will need to, okay, so basically I won't need this case. All I need is to, what do I actually need here? I'm thinking if I even need this start game. I will need to clear the data from all of these players, but that's not the case from when I first start the game for the first time. So do I even need this start game? Yeah, I do need this indeed, because I will need to at least initialize these players, so I can know can know what the ID is and stuff like that. So for now we will need to do this is silly. I'm not sure if I need this for now. Yeah, let's just start from the beginning. I already created some fields here, but I probably won't need them. What I need actually is the player ID. That's the most important stuff, so we can know that this node is basically for this player, and we can deal cards based on that. So I will actually put the whole player here, and we will have some initialize here. Initialize function, and with the player as a parameter, and we can just do this for now. Okay. And we will need at least we will need a player ID, so we know that okay, this is the one we are looking for. Return this player ID. So this is what we need for now, and it in our okay, so we will need this. So we will probably need the abstract players nodes here. Private. No, I mean the abstract player, that's our node. And player nodes. So when we start the game, we will basically need to clear this just to be sure. We don't have anything there, and then we will need to initialize all these player nodes, but not all of them. Basically, we will need to figure out which players we need to initialize, or which nodes we need to put into the list, because it's based on the number of players. And I think I probably will. It's gonna be easier to just copy the function from here, because we already have something like that here. Okay, initialize. No, let's start game. Get player position, get opponent indices. Yeah, this will need to be a little bit updated to our use case, because we don't have local player and opponents, which might be an issue, or maybe not, because we basically know that the local player is the first one in the list, so that shouldn't be an issue. So we will have something like that, and get player indices based on the player count, and indices will be not -1, because we'll use basically these indices here. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So in case of 2 players, we will have 0, that's our local player, and we will have player 2. In case of 3 players, we will have a local player, this player, and this player on the sides. So that's player 1 and that's player 3. And in case of 4 players, we will have like 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Get player indices, player count, so players count. We still need to initialize these player nodes, right? So let's do this. nodes, add, get node, abstract player, and I'm thinking it should be root game players and then player 0. Yeah, maybe we can we can actually call them the correct way, because we won't be using the indices in this for this. So this will be a local player. This will be a left player. This will be front player. And this will be right player. So once again, local player, left player. And just to simplify the things, we will just use this front and right, because player is basically how to say it doesn't give us some new information about this, because we already have players as container here. Okay. Alright. Okay, so yeah, so now what we need to do is to use our player indices, use star index, and this will actually map our local player index to player indices, and we will call initialize with the player. So that should initialize the player node. This will initialize that, and the player node, what we need there is a hand and table. Yeah, that's fine. It's a player. Hand and table, they will be some card containers. So I'm just thinking if I should do that, I should create a interface for that, so we can handle that. We can handle adding and basically not only adding, but also managing the cards within the container. But they are a little bit different because they're not from the UI point of view or the point of view of user. They are not the same, because they won't have the same hook. And I'm just thinking if it's something we should worry about and don't create a separate common container for that. Yeah, but interface will always be the good solution here. So yeah, why not? E-card container. So we will need something like add card here. Yeah, I'm still thinking that this is probably not something I will need. I will probably make better use with the abstract class. It's not that I'm not big fan of the interfaces, I'm just not big fan of the useless classes and stuff. And this seems to be useless if we have some abstract class. But for now we can do it like that. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, so basically what I wanted to do here is to have a card container for hand and same one for the table. We can change it later, so that's not a big issue. And we will need to initialize those two as well. So hand should be get node. Yes, that's a little bit issue that we cannot basically. Can we actually? We should be able. Right? Okay. And so this one is hand, and the other one is stable. Okay, they should share the card container interface, which we will need to create for both of them. So do we need a class for that? And, actually, do we need a separate classes for two of those? Okay, let's just not worry about it right now. So we will figure it out on the run. Okay, so what do I want to do here? What I want to do here is to deal cards to the correct player, and for that we will need to find the player node. So player node. Based on the player ID. It's gonna be abstract player. And that's we need to iterate or iterate. In C#, so player ID get player ID equals player ID, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so if player node equals 0 equals no, we have something very bad here happening. Player cannot be found. Wait for the player node for player ID, and let's just return. So in case we have a player node, we will add card. No, we need to actually get hand and add card there. It's a card data. No, it's a card node. Okay. So let's create this one. Get hand will have will be eCard container. Return hand. Okay. So we can comment this out. For now we don't need it anymore. And what do we need actually is to basically create our hand. So our hand should be another spatial container where we will put our cards into. And for now we will just put them one next to the other, like we've done in our testing main scene. So what do we need? Do we need a hand or something like that, or do we need a container? This will be very specific for a local player, this hand node, so we will probably need to have like local player hand as well. So maybe what we need to create is to create a hand, and then we can handle the local player as a specific class or specific node, because this will be a little bit more tricky. So okay, so we will create we will make a scene from this one. No, not like this. I wanted to save it as a scene. This one, yep. Scenes, and this will be hand. For now, this is sufficient, and we will also need where do we put it? In a player or in a card? I think player makes more sense here. Or maybe card as well. It's a card container here, so we can have a hand. Yeah, it's based on the card, so yep. So yeah, so what I'm trying to do is to create a class, new script called hand, and we will attach this script to our hand node here. We want to do it in a maybe. Doesn't really matter if you do it here on the hand level. To open in editor. Yeah, but let's do it here so it's more clear. Or maybe actually we will be forced to do it on this level. So we have a local hand script here and all of those there in the future. But for now, it's okay for now. We can worry about it later when it's the thing. For now, we only need to place all the cards to the correct hands. So let's go back to the player and let's not do anything here. And let's open a hand in the code. Okay. So this will implement the card container, and we will have a card here. Okay. So I won't do any fancy stuff right now, like animations. We just want to put the cards into the hand and show them on the screen. So we'll basically need a card manager. We will. So this is already a node. We just need to put it into the translate it and put it into the hand. Or wait a second, cards container. Oh, okay. So I'm already creating a card manager. Yeah, I'm already putting a card to the cards container, which is not correct here. And card. So we will need to basically move this a little bit down and use this as a cards container. Is a node, should be node. Yeah, I don't really like this because it's creating some interconnection or some coupling within the card manager and the cards container, but I have to do it because we need to call initialize for our card node, and we cannot do it if the card node is not in the scene. So we need to put it into the scene first, and after that we need to initialize it. And I would like to initialize it in this card manager, not somewhere outside, because that doesn't really make sense. So so what would be the best approach here? Yeah, we will probably need to do that anyway. So let me check. Can I do something like that? No, I cannot. Right. So that's what I was saying, that I will probably need abstract class here. It and this will extra node, so we can use it. And let me just call it a container. Public abstract. Actually, yeah. So we have card container, and hand will be card container. And we will have a hot card already here. And let's check our abstract player. Is this correct? Okay, so that's fine. So we need to comment this out because I'm realizing that we don't have it initialized yet, and it will produce it might produce like error when it's trying to cast it to card container. It will be now actually, or not now, but it will be node, and we cannot cast it to card container. But that's okay. And maybe I will have the same problem with the hand, so I will need to check that as well. So let's get back to the hand. No, to the run manager. And so yeah, okay. So when I'm adding a card, so another thing I could do is just to send not the card here, card node, but the card data, and the hand will basically create the card by itself. We can do that later. We can do that when we are going to see that yeah, we have a duplicated code here and there, so we can abstract it to this card container abstract class. But for now, this should be okay. So what we need to do here is to put our card just to something similar to what we have done in our demo or test. And the card offset will be actually the number of nodes, the number of children, which basically are number of cards currently added into the scene, into the hand. So get child count times 10, and we can times 10, and that should be okay. So we already have it in the hand as a child. Yes, so basically in this case it will be already in the scene, so we will need to do something like this, but I don't think that matters for now. Maybe we will actually do something like this, so we will start a little bit on the left. This won't be here. Later we will need to figure out some better way how to do it just for the testing right now. Okay, so am I missing anything else here? So we can get rid of this, we can get rid of this, we can get rid of this, and that should be actually it. Okay, so let's go through the code. We don't need this. So let's move this a little bit more up so it's based on the logic of the flow. So when we receive a start game, we will initialize our player nodes, which means we will order our players, so the local player is as the first one in here. Then we will get the indices, and then we will actually that's not correct. Why am I cleaning that? I shouldn't be cleaning that. Yeah, what I should be doing is not to clear them, but to like call some clear method on the abstract player here. But maybe we won't use this. So let's not do this for now. Okay, and we will initialize the player for the player node, which will do what it will only, for now it will only set up the player, so we have an ID which we can return, and after that we can start dealing cards. We will get player node, and we will add a card to a hand, and that should be it. Okay, so let's see. What have we created? We have created some error, but it might be caused by not set node. I have everything set, so it's not the issue. Let me check the error here. Specified class is not valid. Yeah, so I think I know what's going on. But let me just double check the abstract player. Did we actually assign? No, we didn't. So what we need to do is to assign a script to these players, and we don't want to do it on the player level. We want to do it on this level because we have two different scripts for local player, and we have a remote player. So this will be, all those will be remote players, and our local player will be local player class. Okay, let's try now. Okay, so no error, or do we have any errors here? The dealing card, why don't we have any dealing cards here? They remove the... Oh, we should be seeing this, but we don't have it here for some reason. Okay, something is not quite okay. Do we have an infinite loop in here? Might be the case. Oop. Okay, I restarted the whole Godot Engine to do that. Now who is there? Yeah, so we are not calling the start game for some reason. And are we calling the initialize game? Yeah, we definitely have some infinite loop here, but I'm not sure what's that. Receiving game received, and did I change anything in the network manager? Wait, no, let me just pause it and see what's going on here. So where are we? So nothing in its threads. Okay, so let's go back from the beginning. So send start connection. That's fine. Receive game data. Process game data. So we should be here. That's not what I wanted to do. We are not getting here, so we have some issue in the initialization of our scene. That doesn't seem like there are no errors here, so that's strange. I probably know what's going on. The game manager, I added the round manager dependency here, and probably it's not initialized yet in the autoload. That might be happening. Let me check. Let me check if we don't really need the game manager in here. Okay, so yeah, I'm accidentally restarting all the engine because I changed this to the debug mode as for editor, and it's starting the editor here, so sorry for that. And let's go to the project settings and let's check our auto loading. What's the order? Okay, so we need to move the RAM manager up, but that shouldn't be an issue because basically the network manager already has also the dependency on RAM manager, and it's not failing. So game manager, okay, let's move it up. See what happens. So let's move it before the game manager, and let's move this card manager before the RAM manager because this is actually also dependent. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so yeah, so that was the problem. Okay, so note to myself that I will need to the autoload or the depend matters. So that's a good one. Okay, so what I want to do here actually is to move our camera a little bit up. So we can see all those. This one, no, it's this one. Like that. Oh. Am I rotating it? Oh, that's a matrix, isn't it? So, which one is it? Okay. And we also want to rotate around x-axis 45 degrees, too much. I mean like minus 10. Okay, something like that, probably. And okay, so as you can see, so this is our local player. And those players are okay. So what we want to do here is to move a local player. That's fine. Or we want to move all those players a little bit more to the back. That's this one. So no, I mean -2. Right, one more. -5. for now. We need to adjust it later. And move a left one a little bit to the left as well. -2. And to the left, -2. -5. Yep. And the same for the right one. So that will be -2. And this will be minus... 5. Yep, something like that. Okay, so our proof of concept is working and we are dealing cards to our hands. And so what we should actually worry about the actual UI, how it will look like. So how do we want to how do we want it to look like? Yeah, we don't really want to see all other players' hands, so that's clear. So we will need to rotate all the hands to by y-axis. It's gonna be so 180 and maybe 100. Okay, so we have a bug here. So something like that, maybe 120. Yeah, we will definitely need to adjust the positioning. Okay, so we have a nasty bug with the positioning there. 90. Let me change my camera to not perspective but orthogonal. Oh wait, no. This one? Is this how I want to see them? I wonder. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let me move my camera back, so it's not like watching from the top, and we will move the cards instead. So what I'm looking for. So y will be 0. Well, not 0. It will be. Wait, this is what I want to change. So it won't be 0. It will be. Yeah, we can move it a little bit to the up, maybe 0.5. Yes. So yeah. So basically, I want to see our local player or my cards. I want to see on the bottom of the screen. We will have some actions here as well on the bottom, probably, or maybe in here. And all the players should be visible on the remaining area here. So we will need to move this player up. Okay. Not Z. Yeah, Z actually Z. But it's gonna be like 10. So wait, if I have an orthogonal view of the camera, what does it mean? It means that I have like this, but it should be. Why it's not smaller? I don't really get that. What? Oh man, I don't know how do I want to my camera to look like. Yeah, I guess. Don't really like this. But that might be issue of something else, right? Not this. But I changed this size. I'm changing. It should be a field of view here. Where is it? It's not here. Let me just save it. What the hell? Okay, I'm confused. So yeah, so it's not like the order of autoloading was the issues. There's some other issue there, which I will need to check. And everything what I've done in the remote was not saved, right? Okay, one more time. So, I want my camera. To maybe a little bit to the back. That's too much. Okay, so yeah, so local player should be on the z-axis 0. So this is our main point of view. And the issue here is that the local camera, I can change the field of view, which was set to 70. I can change it here. Oh, I can change it from there. Okay, sure, makes sense. So one more time here, transform. We put it to 2. That's fine. We will change the local to be a little bit on the so that should be 1. No, local should be 0. But y-axis should be down here. Yeah, so it was minus 0.5, right? Yes, and all the players should be placed more to the back. So that was 5. That was minus 2. And we will use minus 1 as here. Front should be minus 5. guess. -2 and x is 0, and the right should be, what do we have for left? -2, -1 and 5, so we will have 2 as axis, -2 and 5. Wait, where are you? Oh, it should be -5, right? And left one should be -5 as well. In front should be -5. That's kind. Okay. So we still need to put them a little bit more up. So -2. Am I putting it a little bit? No. Yeah. So 3. Okay. Same for this one. Should be -5. So the center of the cards is basically somewhere here. For now, the player hand is here. Not here, but here, because we don't have like proper positioning as for now. And so front one will be 2, maybe even 3. I mean 4. Yeah, and those two should be maybe a little bit more in the back. Yeah, I will need to think about how to actually show the cards on the UI. I didn't actually code it, like thought about it, so I will need to do that. But let me check. Okay, so left we want to 2.5. 2. Yeah, we'll need to rotate them anyway, so it's not like final. Hopefully this will get saved when I rerun it. It did get saved. Bless you. Cool. Okay, so for now something like that should work. That's for now, yeah. And of course we will need to hide all the plus cards, and maybe so what's the important information for a local player here? So yeah, obviously he won't see what's on the hand of the opponent, and the important information is how many cards do they have. And after that we will need to be able to show the table of the opponent, so we will need some switch there. So if we are going to just compact these cards so they are more closer together, cartons. So this is 10, maybe even 3. So yeah, that's for a remote player, but for the opponents. But for the local player, we will need to see them not so compact. So yeah. So x-axis is one of those stuff we need to change for cards, and z-axis is the another one. So get child count, and we will need to move them by 0.1, I guess. Okay, let's try Okay, so we are getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. Okay, so yeah, so we have more space here if we just condense this card a little bit closer. Yeah, for sure we will need to be able to see all of those cards on your hand, but it's not important for the opponent ones. And what we can do for now is to just rotate them, so you shouldn't be seeing the front of the card. But I think there is a bug there which I will need to fix. So let me check this, how it looks like. Yeah, so there is some issue. I will need to figure out what's going on here. What did I... Yeah, I didn't want to around this axis. I wanted to do it around the y-axis. Yeah, that's the one. That's all the left. Okay, let's see. Cool. Okay. Why do we have the F upside down? Scenes card. Let's go here. Let's see our back frame. I flipped it because it didn't look here the correct way, but I guess it's not the right way to do it. Oh man. Okay, this worries me. Are you kidding me? What? I'm rotating the whole hand, but that's not the issue, is it? I think the issue is like I don't see. I think we might want to actually not rotate the whole. Yeah, we actually do want to rotate the whole hand, but it's not an issue. Well, okay. Yeah, we'll need to figure out. I think there might be some problem with the facing, because when I just let me check if I remove the frame. Yeah, so this is what I'm seeing. And let me check how am I able to set it up so it's visible only from a single side. So it might be something related to this one, shaded, double-sided. Nope. Transparent? Nope. Billboard. Okay, yeah, so this is what I'm looking for, right? Oh no, that's okay, so that's billboard. Okay. That's something we will also need. So we can actually use something like that for our local player later. So let's disable it, and okay, so how to... Oh, sorry. Hi Farsol, thanks for pointing it out. Is it better? Yeah, I guess I'm talking a little bit. I'm a little bit silent for now because I'm trying to think out the process of what's going on here, and I'm talking to myself basically. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so yeah, so what I'm trying to figure out how to basically show only one side of the card on the 3D sprite in the Godot. What? Okay, yeah, so this is what I'm looking for. But yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I see what's going on here. Yeah. That's why I needed to flip it. So basically, what I have here is my card, and when I show the frame, it's not on the back side, basically because I'm not rotate. I should rotate it. So this, yeah, that's the correct way to do it. Okay, so let's save this one and let's rerun. See how it looks like now. Okay, I will need to figure out what the error there is. Really? I think it got something to do with my player positioning, and there is some infinite loop there. I will have to figure out. Okay, so yeah, so F is now shown the correct way. Okay, so actually I want to figure out what's going on there. Or maybe so this is actually okay for now. I'm thinking, and I'm also thinking that we will. This is okay way to show it, like on the mobile phone, and so we see how many cards opponents have, and we should see our cards. Yeah, so this should be spread. This will be spread in the screen, and you should be able to slide between those cards. But for the I'm talking about the opponents here. If we want to do something fancy here, maybe if we want to do like the in a, how is it called, Conway, so it looks like a little bit more like a hand, and that's actually it. So one more thing I want to check is when new cards will be added to hand. How does it look like? Or where is it added, on the left or on the right? Should be here, right? It's gonna take 60 seconds, so I'll do something else. Okay, so I will need to move this one more to the left, this one more to the right, and I will need to differentiate between those two, because basically I want to. Yeah, okay, so here I will need to add new cards to the right for this one, and add new cards to the left for this one. This one's fine. Maybe we can deal with the centering it later. Not later, but yeah, that's the next thing I will do. So let me go to the hand. So do we need to differentiate this hand? We will probably need to do that, right? Yeah, so that's the problem of the. If I have initialized it in our player scene. Let me open it. Yeah, so I have a script here, and I cannot really differentiate it if it's what kind of player it is from here. So either I will set it from the player node code. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Probably from here, when we initialize player, we will basically also we will actually know what kind of player this is, and we will need to set a container type or something like that. So the container type knows. Okay, yeah, let's do it. I think I like this idea. So we will actually have some enum here, or maybe I can do. Yeah, so this was an idea to do an abstract class here, and maybe we can do. We will need subclasses for at least for the local player hand. But anyways, I will do an enum here. An enum will be called like container type, or maybe not. Yeah, let's call it container type. So this container type should be like differentiating how the cards should be put or should be layout. Okay, so not container. We can call it. Nah, let's do it. Card container layout. That's the best one. That's the better one. So public, and so we have for now we have four types of container, because all those people will have different positioning. One of those is a local player, which will basically be something like spread. So we will always see like all of those cards. Then we will have left center, left aligned. Then we will have right aligned, and then we'll have centered. And each of those containers will have its own type. Oh, a layout. So card container layout. Protect it so we can access it from the subclasses. And centered. I'm looking for. Okay, yeah, so this might be the default one. Doesn't really matter. What matters here is that I will need to have something like that as well in the player. So player knows about this, and we are able to set it from our from the Godot for each node we have there. I'm sorry. So we will have a public field here, which should be visible to Godot, and that will be card container layout. And that should be actually hand count container layout, right? And when initializing the player, or maybe we can do it on in here. So hand set layout, and cut container layout. This layout. Okay. Yeah, I think there's a better way to do it. I'm gonna stick with this convention. Okay, so okay, and now it's never assigned. Yeah, it's not assigned, but we will basically do the same here, and that's spread. And let's see if we can see it here. We cannot see it here, but we should be able to see it somewhere here. Local player. Okay, so what do I need to do to make it visible to Godot? Let me check the other project because I've already forgot. Export. Okay. So now it should be visible. Do I need to rebuild it? Yeah, we see it here. Cool. Okay, so local player will have spread one. Left one will be left aligned. Front will be, centered. And this one will be right aligned. So based on that, we will need to figure out how to add our cards. And maybe we can maybe also use this for a table, and we won't need a special classes for both of them, but I will keep it like for now. I will keep it like that, and we will see. Maybe we can extract this add class to our abstract class actually. So we will see. Okay, so I'll take a short break. I will be right back. Okay, so actually, I think this might be the good time to end the stream here. I will still need to like think about. I will do it during the day today, tomorrow, and I will think about how to show it better. So I'm not wasting like so much time here and experimenting and not doing real coding. So yeah. Um, Thank you guys for watching today. I hope you learned something, and either if you are watching from for live, and yeah, that was a fast break. Yeah, so thank you for watching. I hope I could show you something from the Godot, and I'm still getting there. Like I'm not the Godot expert. I'm still learning, but I think I like Godot a lot. Really, I like whole the philosophy around how they use signals and stuff like that, and I definitely love all open source. So so this is another reason why I like it. And tomorrow we will continue with that, and I will think about how to show it and how to lay out the cards for opponents and how to lay out the cards for the local player. And yeah, so yeah, that's all for tonight. Thanks again for watching, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye, guys.